Let me ask you something. If you owed $5,000 on a credit card and your minimum payment was about $125, how long do you feel like that should take to pay off? A few months? Maybe a couple of years? Most people guess way shorter than reality because the number looks manageable. In this video, I want to visually walk you through what minimum payments really cost over time. Not emotionally, not hypothetically, but mathematically. You'll see where your money actually goes, why balances shrink so slowly, and how time quietly becomes the most expensive part of the debt. Quick note before we start, this is for educational purposes, not giving personal finance advice, just explaining how it works so you can make your own informed decisions. Let's take this step by step and let the numbers speak. A minimum payment is the smallest amount your credit card company allows you to pay each month without being considered late. It's usually calculated as a percentage of your balance, often 2 or 3%, plus interest and fees. That's why it feels reasonable. The number is low. It feels safe. It fits into almost any budget. But here's the part most people never see. That payment isn't going straight towards your debt. A large portion goes to interest, the cost of borrowing. Only a small portion actually reduces the balance itself. Think of it like trying to drain a bathtub while the faucet is still running. That split between interest and principal is the entire reason minimum payments stretch debt out for years. To keep this fair and simple, let's use a clean example. You start with a $5,000 balance at a 22% annual interest rate. The minimum payment is 2.5% of the balance. And this part matters. You never add new charges. No extra spending, no emergencies, no slip-ups. That already makes this scenario better than real life for most people. So if minimum payments were ever going to work efficiently, this would be the perfect setup. What you're about to see isn't a worst-case scenario. It's actually the best-case one. And that's what makes the outcome so important to understand. Here's what happens in the very first month. Before your payment even counts, interest is added to your balance. That interest is calculated daily, then rolled into what you owe. Only after that does your payment get applied. When you send in the minimum, most of it goes towards covering interest. Only a small slice actually reduces the principal, the real debt. So even though you paid on time, even though you did what was required, the balance barely moves. And this isn't just month one. This exact pattern repeats month after month, year after year, as long as you stick to minimum payments. Now here's where things really start to stretch out. When you pay only the minimum on this balance, it doesn't take a few years to disappear. It takes over 20 years to fully pay off. 2 decades. That's long enough for careers to change, kids to grow up, and life to look completely different. All from one balance that probably didn't feel overwhelming at the start. And during all that time, interest keeps quietly compounding in the background. Nothing dramatic, nothing flashy, just slow, consistent time doing exactly what it does best. Now, let's look at the real cost. Now, let's look at the total cost. You started with $5,000, but by the time that balance finally hits zero, you've paid over $11,000 in total. That means more than $6,000 went to interest alone. You didn't borrow more, you didn't miss payments, you simply gave the debt time. This is what people mean when they say interest compounds. Not all at once, but steadily and relentlessly. The debt didn't beat you, time did. At this point, it is worth asking why minimum payments exist at all. They aren't designed to help you get out of debt quickly. They're designed to keep the account open, active, and profitable. The longer a balance stays around, the more interest it generates. That doesn't make credit cards evil or malicious. They're a financial product, and they work exactly as designed. The problem is that most people assume the system is optimized for speed. It isn't. It's optimized for time. And time is expensive. Now, here's the encouraging part. What if instead of paying the minimum, you paid a fixed $300 a month? Nothing extreme, just more intentional. Suddenly, the timeline collapses. That same balance gets paid off in under 2 years instead of over 20. And the total interest drops dramatically. Same debt, same interest rate. The only thing that changed was the payment strategy. This is why small increases matter more than people expect. You're not just paying faster, you're cutting time out of the equation. And every month you remove is money you keep. The goal of this video isn't fear or guilt, it's clarity. Minimum payments feel safe, but they're expensive, mostly because of time. When you see the math laid out visually, it becomes easier to understand why balances linger and why progress can feel invisible. The good news is that you don't need perfection. Even small, consistent changes can completely rewrite the outcome. If this helped you see credit card debt more clearly, then it did exactly what it's meant to do. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you on the next one.